Hello students, I'm Dr. Manisha, your Maro faculty for ENT, and today with us is Dr. Akshat, who has achieved an amazing rank of rank 8 in the recently held INI-CET May 2025. So congratulations Dr. Akshat, how does it feel? Believe ho raha hai? Has it
Thank you,
settled?
ma'am. Actually, I feel very overwhelmed. I did not expect this result at all. But कर रहा हूँ मैं धीरे धीरे real life पे आ रहा हूँ. And everybody who was with me throughout this journey is congratulating me from everywhere, and I just want to spend my time with them. And I'm just very happy.
Yes, I can understand, and we are taking you away from everybody, your precious
I
time.
don't
We're
mind.
stopping you for some time so that you
Uh,
can share your journey with us, and so that all our viewers can also be benefited from that. So, Dr. Akshat, first of all, yes, we congratulate you from the entire Marrow team and from all our viewers. So, please tell us about your journey. Please tell us first about yourself.
Okay. So, hi everyone. I am Dr. Akshat Kaushik, and I have finished my MBBS UG from AIMS Delhi. And I would start my journey by saying that once I got into AIMS Delhi as a MBBS undergrad, I never really planned for the PG exam as I would think about my UG exam. So because I felt like this time comes only once in a lifetime, and there has to be a balance per se. But then it also helped me optimize the clinical knowledge throughout my 4.5 years before internship. So I felt ki there are people who take a lot of stress for PG exam and they start a similar strategy too early. So I was a Marrow Plan C user from second year itself, and I put almost zero pressure on myself. I was like, "Ki, these videos I have to just watch once, and that means only one, two, three videos per day is more than enough." And I just gave myself time to absorb this knowledge that the college, that the patients and the videos have, and I just let it sink in, interconnecting, however. And then once I started my actual preparation journey 6 months ago, that's the first time I actually started looking at revision videos, that PYQs and everything. And then I found out that there were a lot of questions. Like people still say that PYQs are like majority of the exam, right? But I feel ki anything on top of that I knew and I did well in, I developed that base throughout my MBBS, and it was actually a low energy task. It was not a high energy task that I have to actively do that. So I feel my journey is more of building that clinical base using Marrow videos, using my actual postings, and then just supplementing and going all in, double down in the last 5 months, and just going to the exam.
So that is very, very true and very beautifully said, Dr. Akshat, that when he started his preparation, he did not start with the aim of giving the PG exam, but his aim was to learn to be a good doctor, right? So, and when you actually give so much of time, you start so early, you imbibe things, everything. So everything becomes a reflex. When it is asked in your questions, you don't feel as if ki, my God, ये
Yes.
क्या पूछ रहे हैं? You feel हाँ यही तो होना चाहिए answer. Yes, you feel
It
that
feels
yes,
like it's natural.
yes, yes. So, which means that you had started from second year and you finished all your second year and first year videos in
No,
second
I
year.
actually, ma'am, I did not watch first year videos because in AIMS we study from Genong and Harper a lot. So first year I stuck to standard books. Then in second year I was like, "ये मेरे से नहीं होगा." So I stuck to Marrow, and then on I stuck to Marrow only.
And so by internship, you had finished all your, or by final year, you had finished all your videos.
So yeah, just the videos, no QBank, nothing, just videos and with my hard copy notes once.
Okay. So the videos made a lot of difference in your understanding when you went to the clinics.
100%. It's like the videos feel like a lecture, and I'm a very curious person. So even if there's one term, like if can I mention an example?
Yes, yes, please,
Yes.
please.
So I remember when I was doing my cardio postings, I was very intrigued in it because it was basically physics and a lot of fluid dynamics. So when Dr. Rakesh Nair sir was teaching it, I remember any single word that sir even mentioned and it's not in the notes. I used to just Google and know what it is. And even in the final INI-CET exam, there was a question on Frank-Starling law and pulses, types of pulses, alternates, etc., in different pathologies. So it's something that nobody has ever taught like that, but it's totally interlinked. It's literally physio integrated with your cardio of medicine. And I remember I had googled all the different types of pulses at the time when I studied, like what, 2 years ago, 2 years ago at least. But then I
Yes.
remembered that, and it just I one question just like that I did. It's nothing I read in the last 6 months or PYQs or anything. So I feel
Yes.
that you should be a good doctor first, and PG तो 6 महीने बाद भी हो जाती है.
Yes. So, yes, this is one very important point that Dr. Akshat has told. So, all our listeners, please listen to this. Take this as a note that yes, when you start early, you have the time to give so much of time to study or to know each and every word, if at all you are interested in. So, otherwise, if you have very limited time, even if you want to know that word, you don't have the time. And when you put so much of time in learning the little important basic things, it just goes inside you, and you don't need to revise it ever. It just you just know
Stays.
it. It is there inside you. Yes, great. So do you have any other memories of any other videos which really made a drastic change in your understanding, and you felt that, oh, this is
I remember watching your videos only, and at the start of every video. So most faculties you do that at the end. So I used to just skip that, but with you it was always at the start, and I was like कि आज दिन खराब जा रहा है ये वीडियो एक बार देख लेते हैं. And just it somehow made a change, and I feel throughout this journey more than me actually preparing, because I was enjoying that, but there were times where I was very underconfident, and I would think that just talking to yourself in that journey is a battle in itself, and that battle somehow is the more important battle, because even if I had gotten a rank of, let's say, 800 or 1,000 right now, the fact that I won that battle with myself will count more in my life than this particular rank. And that is something every aspirant should always keep in mind, that you are here to live, you are here to do your best. And just being so attached to one number will never get you somewhere.
so beautiful, so beautiful. So you have to actually make a goal and then just forget about the goal and just focus on the process, the means.
That's true.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
But
Okay.
then I wouldn't say that कि मैं perfect हूँ मैंने ये कर लिया. I had people, especially my mom. Whenever I felt low, she was the one who counseled me. And if anything, I think I can invite her. Can I call her?
Yes, please, please,
Yeah.
please. So till the time she comes, you can tell us, Dr. Akshat, कि
इधर
इतना
आ
time
जाओ.
लगा के you were seeing your videos. Were you making your notes also during that time, or
No, so actually, since class nursery, I've had a very bad handwriting, very weirdly bad, and people used to be like कि तू डॉक्टर ही बनने वाला है. But then I also hate writing by itself, the whole task of writing. So I had bought hard copy notes, and there were times where everyone said कि नहीं खुद के notes best होते हैं and everything. But then I knew for a fact that if I write something down, nobody else can read it, and even I wouldn't want to read it. So then the message that I would like to give is that some things might work for you better, so you just believe in what you feel and just keep going along with it.
you know what, we see the videos and then we make the notes, but ultimately while we're making the notes, the aim of those notes is that we should be able to revise everything,
Yes.
everything that is important just before the exam. So how did you curate your notes accordingly so that it could act as a very good revision source just before the exams?
So even though I hate writing in my own printed notes, anything extra that I want to add, I write it there and there only. And if there is something that, let's say, it's a little hard to understand and it's just mentioned as a fact, but while watching the video, if the faculty has said something very nice to remember it by, or if I have somehow made it myself, so
Apni
then
boli.
I just wrote it down in my language, even if it involves slangs, whatever it is. I just write it down so that, then I will just never forget about it, because it's personalized to me that way. And that way, I also feel that 80 or 90% of the content that's just like book written standard words, I save my hands' energy from writing down. And I
So
just
did
write
you
down all
use
the,
the
yeah.
same notes did you use before your exam for revision?
Yes, yes, 100%.
Yes.
Because
So
I
you
also
use,
remember मैंने कहाँ पे क्या लिखा है.
yes, it becomes a photographic memory.
Yeah.
Page खुलते ही you know that where what is, and exam में भी question आते you know that yes, it was in
Yes,
that
yes,
page and
yes.
on that corner. Okay, so it is very important that whenever you are revising, you are using the same source again and again. You're just adding on
100%.
everything in that source itself. And while doing those videos, were you also doing your questions, MCQs?
So in the last 4 months of my main prem, QBank, no ma'am, I have never really opened it. Apart from
Okay.
apart from just two subjects, which I did because I was like a little free during that time. So Ophtha and anesthesia QBanks, I just did randomly, almost 70-80%. But apart from that, zero QBanks. And PYQs I solved to the T, all 285 of them. And after that, I felt ki instead of doing the QBanks topic wise after studying, it's better for me because I had very less time, like 2-3 months by the end. Tab tak I was doing my first reading only.
When
So
did your internship get over?
uh, December officially, but I had an extension, so till mid Feb right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are telling that only after that you started doing the
No,
QBank.
no, I have since December, you can say. Uh,
Okay.
my mom said, this is my mom, Dr. Kiran Kaur. ये हमारी
Congratulations.
faculty,
अच्छा
Marrow.
अच्छा
इन्हीं से पढ़ा पूरा.
बढ़िया
So
बहुत ही
my
अच्छा
mom,
परफॉर्म किया है अक्षत ने। बहुत खुशी हो रही है, हम लोगों को इतनी खुशी हो रही है, तो वी कैन नॉट इमेजिन कि आप लोगों को कैसा लग रहा होगा। आपने तो बच्चे को दिन रात मेहनत करते हुए देखा है।
एक्चुअली वही है ना, मुझे अंदर से कुछ अच्छा होने वाला ऐसा लग रहा था, बट ये ऐसा लग रहा था कि आप ऐसे ही सोच रही हो, ऐसे
तो
ही
मम्मी तो सोचेंगी.
नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है.
हाँ हाँ, नहीं बस आपका ही था.
हाँ, बस हमने
जब
नहीं
मम्मी
बोला.
देखती है ना बेटा इतनी मेहनत कर रहा है, तो एग्जाम से रिजल्ट से पहले तो कुछ अच्छा-अच्छा लगने ही लगता है।
No, and there were times that I was at my preparation low, and it's my mom, because of my mom only, that I believed कि नहीं नहीं करते रहो, जो होगा देखा
मैं I
जाएगा.
said कि you do your best, और ऐसा तो है नहीं, बल्कि मैंने तुम्हें
I remember my mom saying कि तो कोई नहीं 6 महीने और. So
हाँ,
somehow that one sentence gave me so much relief that I actually doubled my studying.
आपकी वजह से ही अक्षत ने इतना अच्छा प्रिपेयर किया है, इतना अच्छा रिजल्ट आया है, एंड कांग्रेचुलेशंस फ्रॉम द एंटायर मैरो टीम, एंड वी वांट टू थैंक यू सो मच
थैंक यू,
फॉर
थैंक यू सो मच.
थैंक यू।
Thank
अक्षत
you.
को था कि आई विल बी एट माई होम एंड आई विल बी प्रिपेयरिंग फ्रॉम माई होम, बिकॉज
For the
यूजी में
last few months,
आई थिंक हाँ
I
वन
was
एंड हाफ.
because I did my internship in Delhi and my brother's also there, but I've decided. So yeah, the another message I would like to give everyone is that there's no correct way of doing it, because when I was doing that, there were at least 10 of my batchmates who felt कि घर पे पढ़ाई नहीं होती. And I agree with that. That's totally possible. But then I also feel that half of the journey is you finding the perfect optimized balance and optimized situation for you, so you can perform your best.
तो आप लोग रोज रोज आके उसको मोटिवेट करते थे अक्षत को?
My
जरूरत
parents gave me all the space that I needed and all the communication. My mom said, told me that मैं सोचती हूँ आऊंगी but disturb हो जाओगे. So whenever I needed someone to talk to, I went to her and checked up on her as well. But
Yes.
other than that, I feel my parents, my family gives me all the space I need.
जब आप इंटर्नशिप में आप you were also attending your clinics, so how much time did you get to study? Like
Very
what
little,
was
ma'am. I
your
started
period?
only 5 months ago, mostly, which is the end of the internship.
आफ्टर द इंटर्नशिप.
So while internship, I made sure कि मैं अपनी leaves count करके I would travel once or twice. But other than that, I did not really bother about like studying per se.
So
That
which
I did.
means by internship you had finished all your videos and
That too
like
before
whatever you
internship. Throughout
before
internship, I
internship.
just, yeah. Throughout internship, I did not really get in touch with studying. I was like, ये एक साल मेरा एक साल है, ये दुनिया का एक साल नहीं है, and I would just do what I want. And that really helped me to, like there was no excuse for being sad or depressed. कि मैंने एक साल जी लिया जितना जीना है, मुझे 6 महीने बस पढ़ना है, करना है तो करना है, और कोई प्रॉब्लम भी नहीं है उसमें.
But during your internship कुछ तो कर रहे होगे बेटा, something studying. You were you studying or you were not doing anything at all?
I just gave one GT in 11 months, and that's the only interaction I had with studying.
Which means that your concepts were so clear by the end of final year itself that you just were very confident that maybe you just gave a touch up before the exam and everything will
Yes.
become live again. Great. तो GTs कितना दिया? कब से दिया?
I just checked for Marrow. I gave 8 GTs in starting from February. That was my first GT. And I remember I was just revising through the revision videos, everything. So when I was done with like 10 to 12 subjects, I gave my first GT and I scored 127 correct in that. After that, I got to 145 correct in just another week. And then since the last four GTs, I was consistently above 155 and my highest was 169 correct. So I just had
Oh,
to brush up on all the topics, especially NT and Optha, because they are very separate from the
rest
clinic.
of
Yeah, you either know it or you don't. So those questions really added up by the end. And yeah, so I had all this planned back in internship as well. But
so which means that when you started after your internship, you were mainly banking on the revision videos and also did you do the MCQ videos also?
so, ma'am, Delta revision videos, I liked them, but then I did not have time. But anybody who's starting right now, I would totally recommend that you should sort your possible ways of studying into high energy, middle energy, and lower energy. Just like watching a video for the first time is totally high energy, but watching a revision, Delta MCQ video for a subject you already know is very low energy. You can just eat fruits while seeing it. So I feel कि is categorize करके you save your brain a lot of power, and whenever you are totally exhausted, you can just choose a thing to do from the low energy list and just do that.
Okay, so Dr. Akshat, tell us exactly what your preparation in the last few months, because those were your main months. You told me that even in your internship, you were not focusing on the PG exam. So,
Yeah.
what was your preparation from January till May? It is hardly 5 months. So, what was your preparation which got you this rank?
Ma'am, my one answer would be targeted, consistent approach. And then you need to optimize with that. I feel people start, adding their own layers of truth to the online advices, and then they just find excuses to perform less. I'm not
So, what
targeting anyone.
advice? What is your advice? That
So
अगर
my
चार
advice would
चीज
be
करनी
पहले तो
है,
just this whole theory that INI-CET is different than NEET PG is completely true. And when you do PYQs, you'll also find out that there are 130 to 140 questions in every exam. That's pretty much just a repackaged version of the previous exam, which is completely true. So I also did 8 to 9 PYQs, 8 to 9 years of PYQs of both NEET PG and INI, and they sometimes crisscross. So in the final exam as well, there was a question of Vibrio parahemolyticus, and I have not read that topic in detail, but I just knew what was going to be asked, and that was a PYQ. Apart from that, there will be 60 to 70 questions which will be rank makers, and that's completely true. And then the second realization to that is कि वो 70 rank makers के लिए you cannot prepare yourself. You can never prepare yourself. There are friends of mine who have studied very extremely differently than I have. They were able to do some of the rank makers. I was able to do some of the rank makers. But then what matters more is the PYQ concept of it. So you have to first of all uh, ration your time according to that, and then also testing ability बढ़ानी चाहिए, which I did through custom modules. That I did a lot in the last 6 months. No matter where I am, even if I'm walking, even if I'm uh, walking to the let's say the office for any paperwork, anything, I would just roll up a Q bank custom module, 25 questions for 15-20 minutes, or yeah, 50 questions for 1 hour. Even DMC के certificate के लिए I was in the cab and I solved 100 questions on the way.
so what were the tags that you were using for custom modules?
Either just PYQs or all of them.
Or all image based or INI set only or just everything
No,
combined?
man, PYQs was neat and aims, and all was all. And when I was solving all of them, I did not really put so much pressure on myself. I was like कि इसमें 60% आया तो भी ठीक है, 90 आया तो भी ठीक है, and that was the range. But it was more about me optimizing the way of thinking within a time crunch, rather than just
Well,
mugging up all the questions that are coming.
to add, for that day of the exam, a person has to be very calm.
So I believe one day before the exam should be like something to really relax your mind so that you can give your all the next day. So that's what I did. The whole day I was not studying. I think maybe just 1 hour in the morning. And after that, I traveled to near the center. And then I just talked to my friends, to my family. And I watched a movie and I slept without a bit of stress, because I had so much time to talk to myself that any stress that did come up, I dealt with it myself. And I woke
yes.
up early on time.
So, any specific feature of Marrow you used other than custom module? You told me that in the last 5 months, you did all the previous year questions, you gave 8 GTs, which around 8 to 9 GTs, right?
Yeah.
Which means that every 15 days you were giving one GT. And were you reviewing them also?
100%. I spent more time in reviewing than I did in giving the GT, and I reviewed all 200 questions, which means 200 topics. And because while giving the exam, there were questions कि मुझे पता है इसका आंसर तो यही है, but throughout other options or through the question statement, I had a couple of doubts or I remembered a
That's
couple
it.
of things कि ये ऐसे था कि वैसे था. So I made sure I watched that question again so that whenever so that whatever concept I was missing at the time, even if the question is correct, I would just study it again.
Okay, so which means the final preparation was doing a lot of tests, and along with that doing a lot of MCQs in the form of custom modules,
Yes,
almost
and
and doing
sticking
the
to revision videos.
revision videos.
Yeah,
Yes.
with
And
just
anything else?
adding a bit here and there on them,
Okay,
like quite
okay.
a bit.
And
But
the most important thing is that just before the exam and on the day of the exam, you were very, very calm, and that
Yeah.
helped you actually to see the questions as
give
they
my
are.
best in those 3 hours.
Yes, yes, great. So, what is your advice to your juniors? Because you started quite early, and I think that gave you a real edge and a real understanding into the depth of all the subjects, that even for 1 year of internship, which is actually very close to the PG exam, you did not feel any FOMO that if I do not study now, I will miss on the PG exam.
So I feel that the journey is yours and make it yours and completely own it. Because when I decided कि एक साल मुझे अपनी तरह जीना है, then मैं अपनी तरह जिया. फिर मैं किसी से ये नहीं सुना कि अरे ये नहीं पढ़ोगे तो क्या होगा, वो नहीं पढ़ोगे तो क्या होगा. And back in third year when I was studying, because I felt like studying, there were people who were enjoying life, who were partying and everything. तब मैंने वो नहीं सोचा कि मैं जी नहीं पा रहा हूँ.
But
So
beta, जब आप
I
internship में, when you were giving your best in internship, during internship, then uh, it must have been a clinical revision of all that you had already
100%.
read, was it not?
Yes, yes. Like
Yes.
if, for example, I remember in my rural internship, I diagnosed a patient myself with hypothyroidism through X-ray, and I completely treated that child for like a month, and the outcome was also by the time I was leaving was there. So अब ऐसा तो हो ही नहीं सकता कि मैं if I am like actually diagnosing and treating a hypothyroid child, I wouldn't go to up to date for it and I would know everything about it. So I found one Kawasaki disease, one hypothyroidism, just like that, and that's just two examples. So those diseases I would know cent% about just like without even thinking about it. So that was
Yes.
there, and फिर मेरा वही मान, if you're in the OPD, focus on the OPD. If you have decided to take a break, take the break. But if you have decided to do something, then do it, or just give yourself a chance to not do it.
Yes, yes, very good, very good. So beautifully you have summarized everything, that yes, knowledge is the first thing that you need. Without knowledge, you cannot practice. Without knowledge, practice is very dangerous. But if you just practice, if you just have knowledge and you do not practice, then that knowledge is also a waste. And
Useless.
when you use that knowledge and combine that with practice, then
Becomes a
you just
reflex.
imbibe it, and there is no way anybody can take it away from you. So that is one thing about knowledge, that once you have learned something, till the depth of you, till the depth of that thing, and till the depth of you it has gone inside you, nobody can take it away from you. So
Well,
I think that is the way of learning. Great. Thank you so much, Dr. Akshat. And so all of viewers, you have got all the tips. You have been seeing different interviews, and you see that everybody has a different way of preparing. But yes, if you want to enjoy your journey, you have to start early. So congratulations again,
thank you so
and
much.
thank you so much, ma'am, for coming here and giving your valuable time for our interview. Thank you so much. क्या लेना
Thanks.
है?
Uh,
I'm
I'm
confused.
confused between surgery and orthopedics, but I want to take a surgical branch.
Great, great. All the best. God bless you, Veta. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Thank you.